Yes, I would actually love to give you some insight into this company because the more I looked into Oceanwide, the messier it got. So if you don't know, these three towers have been under construction for the last 10 years in downtown LA. It's actually one of the largest developments under construction, and it's been sitting idle for the past 4 years. And that's because the developer, Beijing-based China Oceanwide Holdings Company, is in the absolute most amount of mess I think that a holdings company could ever be in. Construction came to a halt in 2020 after Oceanwide said they ran out of money. They had already spent $1.1 billion, but they were asking for another $1.2 billion and said they would need another 2 years to complete the project. They obviously did not secure that money, and they have since defaulted on a $157 million loan. And as of August 2023, a California state court actually temporarily halted the foreclosure sale of this building because there's so many people that are trying to get their monies back and so many lien holders that the court needs to decide who's going to be first in line to get their money back before the sale can proceed. Also, just a side note, notice how much graffiti's on the windows here compared to 2 days later when all this graffiti popped up. Now, I know the angles aren't the same, but it was like more than double in just 2 days. Unfortunately, when it comes to a demolition, the city of Los Angeles is hesitant about that because they've actually never demolished a building of this size in the area. So they have no plans to work off of or records to reference. Also be known that Oceanwide was at the center of a 2019 FBI probe in relation to bribery, kickbacks, extortion, money laundering. All these crimes could potentially involve Los Angeles County city officials in what local media is saying is the worst city hall corruption scandal in the last century. But that's a whole other video because we have to move on to San Francisco, where the Oceanwide Center was supposed to be San Francisco's second tallest building with office space, residential space, and a Waldorf Astoria hotel. This is what the San Francisco Tower was supposed to look like. Construction started in 2017 and then quickly halted in 2019 after funding issues. They have since tried to sell the building 3 times with no luck. Since then, creditors have seized the building and they reached a $28 million settlement back in November of 2023. And a forced sale of the building is pending an upcoming court date. In China, Oceanwide is being sued for defaulting on a $1 billion loan for this 88-story tower in downtown Wuhan, China. And then we get to New York, where Oceanwide Holdings in 2021 failed to pay a $175 million loan on 80 South Street, which was slated to be one of Lower Manhattan's tallest residential buildings. Here's a rendering. And this was actually the final straw because this was the case that actually triggered a court-ordered liquidation of the company in 2022. A Bermuda court actually issued a winding up order on the company. And if you don't know, a winding up order just basically means that a company is being forced to liquidate all its assets and completely shut down. Which unfortunately means I do not have any insight as to when all of these eyesores will be completed.